Hello. All right, the chill is in the air in Florida. I am bundled up, but I'm coming to you with a video idea. So I was on the call with a client yesterday, and she defines herself as a perfectionist, and that she's always wanted to be the A+ student, the person who gets all the new materials, prints everything out, organizes and then starts. But when things don't go perfectly, she wants to stop and restart again. And I deal with a lot of individuals that fall into this bucket. They struggle when they don't do the things perfectly, and they want to avoid making mistakes. And the hardest part, where they run into the most issue, is where we'll have a conversation about something, and they think, mentally they get it. They get the concept. They get how it's impacting them and how we need to do things differently. But then they do the mistake again. And they really struggle with this. They're like, but Heather, I know better. We've had this conversation. And the thing that I had to come to grips with in my journey was I could logically understand something. I could see the benefit of doing it a different way. I could feel the desire to want to stop making the mistake over and over again. But I had to become comfortable with falling down more than I was standing up. I had to be willing to continuously fall down, make the mistake over and over and over again, and not beat myself up for it, except that I'm human. I do this. I have a behavior pattern I typically follow, and that change is way slower, way messier than we ever really want to think. I was explaining it to my client yesterday. I said, it's like there might be a good day, a day where you don't make the mistakes. You keep going, everything seems great. Then 2 days later, you'll fall down. You'll get frustrated. You have to stand back up, move forward, knowing you only have another 1 or 2 good days before you're down again, and be okay with that. See, that's the hard part we have. We're too much in our head and overthinking it and saying, well, by now I should have this all figured out. I understand the mistakes I'm making. I've talked with a coach. I've done the actions. Like, how many times have you said, I'm a smart person? I understand how to lose weight. Great. You still have to literally go through all the falling down moments. You don't get to negate the walking through the process just because we have the knowledge. And that's the hard part, right? Having knowledge and an understanding is wonderful. It doesn't replace reality in life and what it's going to teach you. There's a great podcast episode I shared with this particular client by Michael Neal called Caffeine for the Soul. And this was from back in 2018, but it was mistakes and mastery. And the whole point of this podcast episode was to highlight that the only reason people master things, they get really good at it, is because they were willing to fall down and make mistakes more than they were willing to be successful. Like, they were literally okay with repetitively failing over and over and over again, because those failures, those fall down moments, are what have made them masters. That's what's made them really good at what they do, because every possible life situation that could have gone wrong went wrong. Every mistake or pothole they could have fallen into, they fell into, and they just didn't allow themselves to stay stuck. They chose to get back up and move forward. Whereas somebody who is not a master, they fall down once, they go, okay, I fell down once. They fell down 2-3 times. They finally just quit. They're like, oh, I'm never going to get this. No, like, for you to get good at something, for you to quote unquote master it or to become proficient, you're going to have to spend more time eating gravel than you are walking. That's just what is required. And if you are somebody in your 40s, 50s, you've been doing this a long time, you've believed weight loss and health have to look a certain way, you've got more to untangle for yourself. You have more, deeply entrenched habits, beliefs that are working against you. And so for you, you're going to have to be very patient and kind with yourself, because if for 20 or 30 years You've done things a certain way. You've dealt with your emotions a certain way. You've eaten out a certain way. You've viewed rewards and entertainment a certain way in regards to food. You've got a lot of things you've got to reroute. And so where I see a lot of people struggle is they think if they can't do it the first time, or if it doesn't happen fairly smoothly, or if they continuously fall, and I'm talking over months or years, you're going to take time to start to develop new habits, beliefs, actions. It's just a time game. You've got to invest the time. You've got to be willing to fall down more than you're standing and not beat yourself up. So for us to become masters or good at anything, it requires a willingness and acceptance of the amount of mistakes you have to make. And I want to encourage you today, embrace every fall down moment. Realize it's just a way for you to become stronger, more resilient, and able to eventually get to a place where a lot of the things that would really throw somebody off at the beginning, you don't get thrown off by, because you've already done all that. You get it. And you just have to go through the actual process of life and the hardship that that brings in combination with working towards your goals. And no matter how much knowledge or understanding you have, it will never replace the need for that. You have to walk the path. You have to do the work. All right, guys, I hope this helps. You stay warm, stay safe, and I will talk to you soon.